a bid to promote the Marathi culture, the Maharashtra government has made it mandatory for all officials in government and semi-government offices to speak only in Marathi. Now, this decision affects official communication, signage, documentation across the state, with even visitors expected to use the language unless they don't speak Marathi. Now, the policy also mandates that text on official documents and digital interfaces display both Marathi Devanagari script and Roman lettering. Now, the planning department issued the notification warning that employees who do not follow the directive will face disciplinary action. According to the Devendra Fadnavis-led BJP government, the policy aims to promote Marathi in all public affairs. Meanwhile, the opposition was quick to respond, stating while there's no issue with implementing the Marathi language, the real concern lies in the government's threat of taking action, which they believe is entirely unnecessary.
How do you see this order coming in at this time?
This is not acceptable. And if Tamil state does it, or for that matter Kerala, or for that matter Telangana, Andhra and Karnataka, so they oppose it. And going by the same yardstick, what are they doing, what they oppose to when it comes to other states where they are not in the power? So what happened, this is the process of balkanization, and the language is very important. You cannot impose the language. Where the Muslims are dominated, the Urdu should be there. So what happened is that we have Hindi and English national language, and that has to be, why is it to integrate the country more and more?
इस बात में कोई बुराई नहीं है कि महाराष्ट्र है वहाँ पे मराठी कंपलसरी होनी चाहिए, लेकिन जिस तरीके की अनुशासनात्मक कार्रवाई की बात हो रही है, मुझे लगता है ये बहुत ही फिजूल की बात है। देश है तो राज्य है और देश की भाषा हिंदी है। अगर उस पर इस तरीके की बात की जाती तो मैं उसका बिल्कुल स्वागत करती कि हिंदी कंपलसरी हो, हिंदी में बोर्ड्स हो, हिंदी के लिए अगर कोई मना करे तो उस पर इस तरह की कार्रवाई हो। तो मुझे नहीं लगता, क्योंकि महाराष्ट्र में बहुत बड़ा एक वर्ग यहाँ से उत्तर भारत से जाते हैं लोग, बंगाल से भी आते हैं, बहुत सारी जगहों से आते हैं और वो काम करते हैं। वहाँ पे बहुत से लोग ऐसे होंगे जिनको मराठी नहीं आती है। इस देश में इतने सारे राज्य हैं, अगर सब राज्यों में इस तरीके की बातें होंगी तो फिर ये देश कहाँ रह जाएगा।
Cutting across to Shweta Verma, my colleague joining me live this morning. Shweta, very good morning to you. You know, these are bringing sentiments of what happens in my home state of Karnataka. And for the longest time, we know how that language war has spanned out. Now, we're seeing something very similar in Maharashtra. While in both the cases, if we compare what has happened in Karnataka to Maharashtra, the sentiment is that the language should perhaps be preserved. In a sense, the culture is the only way. This is perhaps the only step to do that. Now, the question really comes, is that a viable option? Because let's say, for example, in Karnataka with a city like Bengaluru, which attracts people from all across the state, and very similar to a city like Mumbai, which is the land of opportunity. Having said that, is it realistic to also put that action on people who perhaps don't know the language, while the initiative might in a way be how the government wants to look at it?
That's right, Nivedna. In fact, as per the government resolution that has been issued by the Maharashtra government, it clearly states that now it is mandatory to communicate in Marathi when it comes to the government offices, semi-government offices and the institutions related to government. So here clearly this GR also states about the fact, as you have mentioned, about the preserving of the state's language. Here they have also stated that to promote Marathi culture, to promote Marathi language, the concrete step has been taken. Now the question also is being raised whether the non-Marathi speaking people, those who come here for job opportunities, as rightly you have mentioned about how Mumbai being topmost metropolitan city, a land of opportunity, how will these people tackle and how will these people people are going to cope up with the kind of, the GR that has been issued. Having said that, it has been clearly mentioned that while somebody approaches you in the government offices, it is clearly mandatory for the government officer to communicate in Marathi. There are exceptions only for two categories. One is foreign national and another is from some other state. If somebody has come, that is the time you can make use of Hindi or English or any other language which is comfortable to the person. But rest of the time you have to communicate with each other, with the other person, those who visit the government offices only in Marathi. Having said that, the non-compliance can also bring an act of official indiscipline. So clearly we are given to understand that how this GR is a significant move, but Maharashtra government is stating the fact that this is to promote the Marathi culture and the Marathi language in the state of Maharashtra. This is compulsory to communicate in Marathi across the state in all the government offices. Again, we are seeing that this is somewhere drawing flag also from people, those who find difficult to understand or speak in Marathi. But again, time is only going to reveal that after municipal corporation stating that Marathi signage is necessary. Now Maharashtra government comes with the issuance of the GR stating that now communicating in Marathi across all the government offices is mandatory.
You know, Shweta, as you point that out, of course, politically speaking also, we're given to understand that the opposition is not against the idea of it. It's actually questioning whether that sort of action is necessary. But here is where the grey space comes into it. Now, for government officials for any state, since we're comparing two different examples here, whether it's Karnataka or Maharashtra for that example, is a matter of fact that people who are born and brought up in the state already know the language. So in terms, you're only perhaps talking about the culture being preserved. But the thin line really comes about, if this is about promoting the language to people who don't belong to the region, how would you do it? Because, there should perhaps be better ways to kind of bridge that particular gap. Because, for official work, I really doubt if people are going to be learning the language. Although there's another way to look at it, that everybody should meet each other halfway when they perhaps travel to different cities to work.
Well, Nivedna, at this point, yes, it is going to be challenging after, of course, when the Maharashtra government has issued the GR on making Marathi compulsory to communicate in all the government offices. Having said that, again, it's important to understand that when we speak politically, that what is happening, where the opposition has been opposing this, opposition is quite tight-lipped and they will not oppose it because it comes to the Marathi Asmita. Remember, many a times Maharashtra government, especially the BJP and Shinde-owned government, the previous time Mahayuti tenure was always questioned on the Mahayuti Asmita, stating that most of the business is going to other states and specifically Gujarat, and this is the reason why there is lack of employment here. And to generate employment, this is also one of the reasons as per the Maharashtra government, that to generate employment, to let Maharashtrian people also get involved into the opportunities, job opportunities, this is one of the concrete steps they have taken. But again, the question here is, what about the non-Marathi speaking community, those who come here per se for IT job, for any other technical jobs, and they are going to face a difficult time for sure. But yes, they also have to cope up like how people are coping up in Karnataka. But here comes a major move from Maharashtra government on making Marathi compulsory in all the government offices.
All right, Shweta, I appreciate you joining us this morning, not only telling us what this particular move is, but also what are the exceptions, and more importantly, politically speaking, how that is being viewed.